Hi, I'm Leslie Northcutt, and in this video I'll be explaining the role that growing and repeating patterns have in pre-K2 mathematics. So I want to start off with the definition of patterns, and that is the systematic combination of objects, or mathematically it's the systematic change of math structures. So in pre-K2, these patterns help children make the connections between numbers, shapes, and concepts in general for the first time, and this lays the foundation that they need for later mathematics such as algebra. So again, there are two types of patterns that I'll be explaining, and that's repeating patterns and growing patterns. Repeating patterns, again, it's repeating shapes, colors, numbers. It doesn't always have to be numbers, especially in pre-K2 when they're barely getting familiar with different objects. Shapes and colors are used a lot in patterns, and it's a repetition in a predictable cycle. So a repeating pattern, for example, will be like 1 2 1 2 1 2, or blue yellow blue yellow. Patterns like those give students the opportunities to notice relationships between numbers or between objects, and give them the opportunity to predict what comes next. Growing patterns are a little different in that the new element in the pattern builds off the previous element, and this type of pattern introduces the concept of change or growth and increasing and decreasing for the first time. Once this type of pattern is understood, it gives the students the preparation they need to learn operations such as addition, subtraction, and then later on even multiplication and division. So again, an example of a growing pattern would be like 1 2 3 4 5 6, because the numbers don't necessarily repeat, but there is a systematic change happening at every level of the sequence. So in general, patterns are important for this stage in the children's lives because it's good for their cognitive development, in that it strengthens their logical thinking and enhancing their problem-solving skills. An important aspect of this is that the students get to understand the relationships between numbers and operations on their own, instead of the teacher telling them what these are. Just by showing the students the patterns, they should be able to explore and recognize their own relationships between them. Critical thinking is used to make these predictions, and again, it lays the foundation needed for algebraic thinking to start, and it can even introduce the concept of variables and functions. And lastly, patterns in general just help students to understand the symbolic relationships that will be needed later on to be successful in algebra. Thank you.